In the heart of Africa lies a land where ancient empires once ruled the world, and nature carved masterpieces that touch the very soul of existence. Ethiopia stands as the cradle of humanity itself, where sacred mountains pierce the heavens and mystical lakes hold the secrets of eternity, where churches carved from living rock whisper prayers that have echoed for centuries, and where waterfalls plunge from paradise into valleys blessed by the gods. This is not just another destination on the map. This is a journey through time itself, where every stone tells stories of forgotten kingdoms and every sunrise reveals wonders that even locals struggle to believe are real. Today, we embark on a sacred pilgrimage through Ethiopia's most amazing treasures, where ancient kingdoms left their mark upon the earth. Prepare to walk where emperors once walked and stand where time itself seems to pause in eternal wonder. Rising like a fortress built by titans, the Simien Mountains stretch across the Ethiopian highlands as nature's own cathedral, where peaks scrape the belly of heaven and endemic creatures roam landscapes that seem borrowed from fairy tales. This UNESCO World Heritage Site encompasses dramatic escarpments and jagged peaks that rise over 4,000 meters above sea level, creating one of Africa's most spectacular mountain ranges. The landscape unfolds like pages from an ancient book of creation, each vista more breathtaking than the last. Here, the rare Ethiopian wolf prowls through Afro-alpine meadows, while troops of Gelada monkeys gather on cliff edges, their calls echoing across valleys carved by countless millennia of wind and weather. The mighty Walia ibex leaps between impossible rock faces with grace that defies gravity itself. Trekking through these sacred heights feels like walking on the very foundation stones of the world, where every sunrise paints the peaks in colors that exist nowhere else on Earth. Where the sacred waters of Lake Tana begin their epic journey to the sea, nature has created a spectacle so magnificent that locals call it "'Tis a Bay," the great smoke that rises to touch the face of God. The Blue Nile plunges 40 meters over ancient basalt cliffs, creating a thunderous symphony that can be heard from kilometers away. During the rainy season, this waterfall transforms into a curtain of liquid diamonds, generating mist that creates rainbows dancing in the eternal spray. Standing on the viewing platforms, visitors feel the earth trembling beneath their feet as millions of liters of sacred water crash into the pools below. The Portuguese bridge, built centuries ago, offers the perfect vantage point to witness this divine performance that never grows old. This is where the power of creation reveals itself in its purest form, where the very breath of the earth rises as mist toward the heavens above. Hidden within Ethiopia's mountainous heart lies a miracle that defies human understanding, where faith moved mountains and divine inspiration carved paradise from living rock. "11 magnificent churches emerge from the earth, as if God himself reached down and sculpted them from the volcanic stone. Created in the 13th century as a New Jerusalem, these sacred chambers have welcomed pilgrims for over 800 years, their walls echoing with prayers that bridge heaven and earth. Each church stands as a masterpiece of spiritual architecture, carved downward into the bedrock with such precision that angels themselves might have guided the ancient craftsman's hands. The Church of St. George rises as the crown jewel, its perfect cross shape visible only to those who view it from above, as if meant for divine eyes alone. During sacred festivals, thousands of white-robed pilgrims flood these holy grounds, transforming the site into a vision of celestial beauty that photographers dream about capturing and souls never forget witnessing. In Ethiopia's northwestern highlands rests a body of water so blessed that it gives birth to one of the world's mightiest rivers and cradles islands, where ancient monks have preserved sacred mysteries for centuries. Lake Tana stretches across the landscape like a mirror reflecting heaven itself, its pristine waters serving as the source of the legendary Blue Nile. This sacred lake spans over 3,000 square kilometers, dotted with 37 islands that float like emeralds upon liquid silver. Ancient monasteries crown these mystical islands, their walls protecting treasures that include illuminated manuscripts and religious artifacts dating back over 6 centuries. Monks in simple robes continue traditions unchanged since medieval times, their chanted prayers drifting across waters that have remained pure since the dawn of creation. Traditional Tankwa boats made from papyrus reeds glide across these blessed waters as they have for countless generations, connecting visitors to an ancient way of life that flows as eternally as the lake itself. Where the Great Rift Valley cradles two pristine lakes, nature has created one of Africa's most spectacular bird sanctuaries, where millions of flamingos transform the waters into living paintings that shift and dance with every breeze. Lakes Abajata and Shala lie like twin jewels in the rift floor, their alkaline waters providing perfect conditions for the microscopic organisms that feed countless thousands of lesser and greater flamingos. During peak seasons, these lakes become solid carpets of pink that stretch to every horizon. The sight of flamingo flocks taking flight creates one of nature's most breathtaking spectacles as waves of pink wings rise against the backdrop of volcanic peaks and endless African skies. Over 400 bird species call this sanctuary home, creating a symphony of calls that fills the air from dawn to dusk. Standing on the shores of these blessed lakes feels like witnessing paradise itself, where every sunset transforms the waters into liquid gold, and every sunrise brings new miracles painted across the sky. In Ethiopia's remote southwestern reaches flows a river that has nurtured human civilization since the very dawn of our species, creating valleys where ancient traditions continue unchanged and cultural diversity reaches levels found nowhere else on Earth. The Omo River Valley stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where archaeological discoveries have rewritten the story of human evolution, and where over 15 distinct ethnic groups maintain lifestyles that connect directly to humanity's deepest roots. This sacred valley has yielded fossils of our earliest ancestors, making it truly the cradle of mankind. Traditional villages dot the riverbanks, each community preserving unique customs, languages, and artistic traditions that have remained pure for countless generations. Body painting, intricate scarification, and elaborate ceremonies create living galleries of human cultural achievement. Traveling through this blessed valley feels like journeying through a living museum of humanity itself, where every encounter reveals connections to the very essence of what makes us human. In the heart of the Great Rift Valley rests a lake so perfectly serene that it seems designed as nature's own meditation chamber, where crystal waters reflect not just the sky above, but the very peace that dwells within the human soul. Lake Awasa stretches like liquid silver between gentle hills clothed in green, its shores providing sanctuary for countless species of waterfowl that create living decorations against the pristine waters. Sacred ibises wade through shallows while fish eagles circle overhead, their cries echoing across waters so still they barely seem to breathe. Traditional fishing boats dot the lake's surface like prayer beads scattered by gentle hands, while local communities maintain harmonious relationships with the waters that have sustained their ancestors for countless generations. The surrounding landscape rolls in gentle waves of farmland and natural forest that create perfect frames for nature's masterpiece. Standing on these blessed shores as sunrise paints the water in shades of gold, and rose feels like witnessing the first morning of creation, when peace itself took physical form and chose to dwell upon the earth. In southern Ethiopia's pristine wilderness lies a lake where ancient predators rule waters so clear they seem like windows into prehistory itself, creating one of Africa's most extraordinary wildlife sanctuaries. Lake Chamo stretches between rolling hills as a perfect mirror, reflecting endless African skies. But beneath its tranquil surface dwells one of the continent's largest populations of Nile crocodiles. These prehistoric survivors bask on sandy shores and glide through waters that have remained unchanged since the dawn of time. The lake teems with hippos whose thunderous calls echo across the water at dusk, while countless species of fish create a food web that supports diverse bird life ranging from pelicans to fish eagles. Traditional fishing communities have learned to coexist with these powerful predators, maintaining ancient agreements written in mutual respect rather than words. Boat journeys across these blessed waters feel like voyaging through a living museum of evolution itself, where every ripple might reveal eyes that have watched empires rise and fall with the patience of eternity. In Ethiopia's southeastern highlands lies a pristine wilderness where nature has created sanctuaries for creatures found nowhere else on Earth and landscapes that seem designed by divine architects. The Bale Mountains rise as islands of Afro-alpine habitat, their peaks crowned with unique ecosystems that shelter the world's rarest wolf and other endemic species that exist only in these sacred heights. The Saneti Plateau stretches as the largest expanse of Afro-alpine habitat in all of Africa. Here, the Ethiopian wolf hunts giant mole rats through grasslands that roll like green oceans beneath endless skies. The endangered mountain Nyala moves through ancient forests with the grace of mythical creatures, while countless endemic plants paint the mountainsides in colors that change with each passing season. Trekking through these pristine landscapes feels like exploring the private gardens of creation itself, where every step reveals wonders that few human eyes have ever witnessed. Between the fall of ancient Aksum and the rise of the Solomonic dynasty, a remarkable royal house emerged from the mountains of Lasta to create some of Ethiopia's most enduring masterpieces and bridge two golden ages of African greatness. The Zagwe Dynasty ruled for over 3 centuries, transforming their mountain stronghold into a center of Christian devotion and architectural innovation that culminated in the miraculous rock churches of Lalibela. These visionary rulers understood that true power comes not just from military might, but from creating monuments that inspire the soul and connect earth to heaven. Under Zagwe patronage, Ethiopian Christianity flourished as never before, producing illuminated manuscripts, training master craftsmen, and establishing monastic traditions that continue to this day. Their legacy reminds us that even in ages we call dark, the human spirit can create light that shines across centuries. The Zagwe kings may have ruled from mountain fortresses, but their vision reached toward eternity, creating treasures that continue to inspire wonder in every soul blessed enough to witness their divine handiwork. In the northern highlands of Ethiopia, an empire once rose that commanded respect from Rome itself and controlled the ancient world's most precious trade routes. The Kingdom of Aksum stands as one of history's greatest civilizations, stretching its mighty influence from the Red Sea to the heart of Africa for over 8 centuries. This sacred land witnessed the birth of one of the world's first Christian nations, where faith and power merged into something truly magnificent. Walking through these ancient grounds feels like stepping into a living museum where giants once walked among mortals. The ruins whisper stories of queens and kings who shaped the destiny of continents, their legacy etched forever in weathered stone. This is where Africa showed the world its divine power, where merchants from distant lands came seeking treasures and left speaking of wonders that seemed too extraordinary to believe. Rising from the earth like prayers made stone, the mighty obelisks of Aksum stand as eternal monuments to an empire that commanded the ancient world. These magnificent granite towers, carved with divine precision over 16 centuries ago, reach toward heaven as if carrying the souls of ancient kings to their eternal rest. Each obelisk marks the sacred burial ground of royal blood, standing as silent guardians over treasures that sleep beneath the earth. The largest of these stone giants stretches over 30 meters into the sky, its surface decorated with intricate carvings that speak of architectural mastery that rivals any civilization in history. Standing before these monuments, visitors feel the weight of eternity pressing upon their hearts. This is where earthly power meets divine artistry, where ancient souls continue their eternal watch over a land blessed by the gods themselves. Standing as Ethiopia's oldest monument, the ancient temple of Yeha rises from the Tigrayan highlands as a testament to civilizations so ancient that their very names have been lost to the mists of time. Built over 2.5 millennia ago by the mysterious DMT Kingdom, this sacred structure predates the Great Pyramids of Meroe and stands as one of Africa's earliest examples of monumental architecture. Its massive stone blocks fit together with precision that speaks of engineering knowledge that seems almost supernatural. The temple's walls, constructed without mortar, have survived earthquakes, wars, and countless centuries of weather, standing as eternal proof of the architectural genius of Ethiopia's earliest civilizations. Archaeological treasures found here continue to rewrite the history of ancient Africa. Walking among these ancient stones feels like touching the very beginning of recorded history, where the first chapters of human civilization were written in enduring granite and divine inspiration. In the heart of Ethiopia's ancient imperial capital stands a complex of royal castles so magnificent that travelers from distant lands have called this place the African Camelot. Built in the 17th century during Ethiopia's Golden Age, these fortress palaces represent the peak of Ethiopian architectural achievement. 6 castles rise within the royal enclosure, their stone walls telling stories of emperors who ruled over territories stretching from the Red Sea to the Great Lakes of Africa. The Fasil Gebi complex showcases a unique architectural style that blends Ethiopian traditions with Portuguese, Moorish, and Indian influences, creating structures that seem to belong in both ancient legends and fairy tales. Each castle served different royal purposes, from state ceremonies to private imperial chambers. Walking through these royal grounds, visitors can almost hear the echoes of coronation ceremonies and royal proclamations that once shaped the destiny of an entire continent. Spanning the sacred waters where the Blue Nile begins its legendary journey stands Africa's oldest stone bridge, a testament to engineering mastery that has defied time itself for centuries. Built by Portuguese craftsmen in the 17th century, this graceful arch of stone represents one of the continent's earliest examples of European engineering adapted to African landscapes. The bridge rises elegantly over the rushing waters, its reflection creating perfect symmetry that photographers and pilgrims alike find impossible to resist. Standing on this ancient crossing, travelers witness the marriage of two worlds, the eternal flow of Ethiopia's most sacred river and the enduring craftsmanship of master builders who understood that true art must serve both beauty and purpose. The sound of rushing water below mingles with whispers of history that echo from every carefully placed stone. This bridge connects not just two riverbanks, but two eras of human achievement, standing as eternal proof that greatness transcends the boundaries of culture and time. Behind ancient walls that have protected sacred secrets for over 1,000 years lies one of Islam's holiest cities, where 99 mosques create a symphony of spiritual devotion that touches every corner of daily life. Harar Jugol, the fortified old town, stands as the fourth holiest city in Islam and one of Africa's oldest settlements. Its narrow alleyways wind between traditional houses built in unique architectural styles that blend African, Arab, and Ottoman influences into something truly magical. The ancient walls, built in the 16th century, embrace a living museum where traditional crafts continue unchanged and colorful markets overflow with spices, textiles, and treasures that speak of centuries of trade with distant lands. Over 300 shrines dot the city, each one a testament to the spiritual devotion that flows through every stone. At night, the legendary hyena feeding tradition transforms the city gates into stages for one of Africa's most extraordinary wildlife encounters, where man and beast share an ancient understanding that outsiders struggle to comprehend. In the eastern reaches of Ethiopia once stood a powerful Islamic sultanate, whose armies shook the foundations of Christian kingdoms, and whose legacy continues to shape the cultural tapestry of the Horn of Africa. The Adal Sultanate rose as a formidable force between the 13th and 16th centuries, creating a sophisticated Islamic civilization that controlled crucial trade routes and built magnificent cities that rivaled any in the medieval world. Their capital cities showcased architectural marvels that blended Islamic, African, and Arabian influences into something uniquely beautiful. Though their stone cities have largely returned to the earth, the cultural impact of the Adal Sultanate lives on in the traditions, languages, and religious practices of modern Ethiopia. Their story reminds us that this ancient land has always been a crossroads where different faiths and cultures met, clashed, and ultimately enriched each other. The ruins scattered across the eastern highlands whisper tales of sultans and scholars, of magnificent mosques and bustling markets that once made this region a beacon of Islamic learning and trade. In the misty highlands of northern Ethiopia lie the forgotten ruins of one of Africa's earliest civilizations, where mysterious kings ruled from stone palaces that predate the great empires of antiquity. The Diemt kingdom flourished between the 8th and 5th centuries before Christ, creating sophisticated urban centers and monumental architecture that speaks of a civilization far more advanced than history books once dared to imagine. These ancient rulers commanded trade routes that connected Africa to Arabia and beyond, accumulating wealth and knowledge that built the foundation for future Ethiopian greatness. Archaeological treasures continue to emerge from these sacred grounds, revealing inscriptions in ancient scripts and artifacts that rewrite our understanding of early African civilizations. Walking among these weathered stones feels like touching the very dawn of organized society in the Horn of Africa. This is where Ethiopia's imperial legacy began, where the first chapters of a story spanning over 2 millennia were carved in stone by hands guided by divine inspiration. Stretching like a massive scar across the Ethiopian landscape, the Great Rift Valley represents one of Earth's most dramatic geological phenomena, where continents slowly pull apart and create landscapes that belong more to dreams than reality. This massive geological formation splits Ethiopia from north to south, creating a chain of lakes, active volcanoes, and diverse ecosystems that showcase the raw, creative power of our living planet. The rift floor lies thousands of meters below the surrounding highlands, creating climates and habitats found nowhere else on Earth. Volcanic peaks rise like sleeping giants along the rift floor, while mineral-rich lakes create perfect mirrors that reflect skies so blue they seem painted by master artists. Hot springs bubble from the earth, carrying minerals that paint the surrounding rocks in impossible colors. This is where the Earth reveals its deepest secrets, where the very forces that shape continents can be witnessed in their eternal dance of creation and transformation. Ethiopia stands as more than a destination on any traveler's map. This is a pilgrimage to the very heart of human civilization and natural wonder. Where ancient kingdoms left their eternal marks upon landscapes that seem designed by divine hands. These wonders exist not in fairy tales or distant legends, but in the beating heart of Africa, waiting for souls brave enough to seek the extraordinary. Each sunrise over these blessed lands paints new masterpieces across skies that have witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the birth of faiths, and the endless dance of creation itself. Ethiopia calls to those who seek more than ordinary travel experiences. It calls to those who hunger for connections to something greater than themselves, something eternal and transformative. This is where the impossible becomes reality, where every step connects you to the deepest roots of human existence, and where every moment reveals why this ancient land continues to be called the roof of Africa and the cradle of mankind. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time.